It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso on S3. We have Cassidy, Nicholson joining us as we dive into the world of entertainment news. And we're going to kick it off with some local news.
First of all, do I have omelette on my face?
No, you don't, but it smells incredible, and I'm very hungry right now. Oh, okay, we're going to start off with some local news. South Africans on social media were raging after TV personality Shamiso Mosaka was removed from a flight from Durban to Johannesburg over her, and I quote, unruly behavior, the official said while she was on a phone call with her friend. Now, Shamiso went live on social media and put the incident in the spotlight about the alleged discrimination that led to her being thrown out. Now, in the clip widely circulated on social media, police are seen trying to escort the presenter off the plane as she defends herself, arguing that she was not being disruptive and accusing the air hostess of being racist.
I'm dying to... If someone else has got any more videos that we can reveal of the actual incident, I'd love to see that. I mean, it is what it is in this country. Unfortunately, racial threads are there everywhere. Racist threads are everywhere. So we can understand that. At what point, though, does it become so hectic that you get taken or thrown off a plane? When you hear a story like this sounds like something that should happen in Hollywood, yo.
Gosh, I'm like, does that happen
South
here?
Africa.
Jeez.
It's crazy.
Well, I've had some friends that, you know, were air hostesses, and it's a very stressful environment. So they get the fall down if their passengers don't have their seatbelts clipped, if their phones aren't off. So
Because it's a safety thing. It's not a customer service job. It's a safety job.
It's a safety element. And I suppose if you are used to flying, each airline has its own policy. And at the end of the day, as a passenger, you have to respect that airline's way of doing things if you're on that flight.
Possibly also because that is like the one thing where people are like super nervous. I mean, I remember I was with a bunch of friends and I'm like such a bubbly person. So I was like, yo, this is the bomb. And someone's like, you can't just... And I was like...
Oh, for sure.
But the thing is, it's such a... Everyone's like nervous when it comes to these types of things, you know? So I think there's like a decorum that you need to have when you're on like a plane as opposed to just being at a restaurant. Yeah. It's like you may be fine, but you need to take into consideration that, you know, 2 rows down, there's someone who's like never been on a plane before. And so I think it's also just kind of making sure that those people feel seen and valued and, you know, taken care of.
I think if it got to this point, I would imagine everyone is justified in their response, probably.
Totally.
And that's often what makes these waters so murky, is because there's so much baggage there as well. I mean, we look at that, but hopefully there are no more repercussions and everyone involved can move on from that media storm, as minor as it is. Now, let's focus on a media hurricane, if you will, that is starting to swirl around our very own Tyla. She is set to release her debut self-titled album, 14 tracks. And it's coming out this Friday. And it includes some massive artists as collaborators. So we're talking about the likes of Gunna, Travis Scott, Calvin Momo, all on their album. They've jumped on the opportunity to work with her. And as a newcomer, she seems to amaze all of us every time with what she and her hardworking team are capable of. I love the fact that she's the first to talk about her dancers. She's the first to talk about her choreographers, the first to talk about the backup singers. She is a collaborator. She herself was a backup singer and dancer at one point. Yeah. What do you make of what is going on in the world of Tyla right now? Because we knew it was going to be big.
Yeah.
This is unprecedented for a South African artist.
I think it's absolutely incredible. I mean, in the famous words of Tyla, what the heck?
What the heck? Yeah.
It's just, I think it's really cool. Not only is she young, like, doesn't have the album out yet, but I mean, it's so inspiring to see as a young South African. And I think when we cheer on for one another, there's so much more to it because it's like, in spite of everything that's going on, you can still do that and you can still make your dreams come true. So I'm just like, yes, queen, yes. Like,
I'm just thinking of all the kids looking at her going, wow, if we think this is mind-blowing, imagine if you've grown up in one reality with only one notion of what you could become.
It's our version of you can do anything, you could be president type vibe, you know?
Yeah.
Go for it, Tyla. You could be president.
You could be I mean, yeah.
Definitely. Well, we now move over to some international news. Khloe Kardashian took to Instagram to honor her little brother Rob Kardashian with a sweet message for his 30th 47th birthday. But this is where the news comes in. Her ex-husband, Lamar Odom, who is clearly still keeping up with the Kardashians, shared a loving comment under Khloe's post. So let's take a look.
Oh, my
said, "My
family."
family.
What does it mean? What does it mean, Cassidy?
Let's go.
Let
Cut
it
the
go.
cord. Oh my
Or are we
God.
desperate to make this news?
No, you know what? It's like jeepers. Like, oh, he's clearly still keeping up. is
Oh
all I
my
can say.
goodness, I can't imagine, like, this is making news, someone's comment on someone else's post on social media.
No, it's wild. It's
Well,
wild.
it is the Kardashians. We've all got to keep up with the Kardashians, okay? Maybe this one is a little more spicy as the omelette we've just eaten. I've had the pleasure of working with Wayne Brady before. He is a genius. And, of course, a television host, a comedian, and an incredible singer. And he announced to the public that he was pansexual in August of last year. So he recently opened up about the biggest misconception people have about pansexuals. In an interview, he said that individuals think that you're an indecisive bisexual, and that is not the case, certainly not for him. Brady admitted to being attracted to the same sex, but was always pushed to the other direction due to his upbringing and the judgment he may face from the world. And the host added that he did feel shame and did not want people to find out, despite having support in the LGBTQ+ community. So when he finally did decide to live his truth, he said he received an avalanche of support. It can so often go the other direction when you show vulnerability. And we are here sort of saying, be vulnerable, show your weakness so we can help you grow. But often when you do show that vulnerability to the world, the trolls will come a-calling.
Oh, yeah, 100%. But I mean, at what cost, though? Because then you sit there and you sit in something that's not your truth. And I mean, people are going to ridicule you anyway, regardless if you're honest or not. So at least take back your power and be like, yep, cool, this is me. And the fact that I'm doing it on my own, you know, because I want to do it and the way that I want to do it, it's like you can say what you want, but it doesn't change my truth, you know? So I just think that there's like, it's a much of a matchness, but at least in this one, you have the control if you speak your truth.
No, completely. And again, it matters because there is someone like you going through what you've gone through that just needs an anchor or a hand up or someone to relate to. So
And he can
kudos
go to
you,
sleep
buddy.
with a clear conscience and just easy knowing that he's himself.
And that's all that matters.
100%.
All that matters.